Hello, hello, apa khabar everybody? Welcome to Virtually Peranakan Fest 2022, celebrating our colourful culture. Now, this is our third edition of this online Peranakan festival organised by Peranakan Sayang, and we are very happy to see all of you, our Sayangs from around the world. Kamsia very much for joining us. Please say hello and where you are watching this from in the comment section, whether you're watching from our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. We'll love to hear from you. My name is Alvin Un, and it's a pleasure to host this session with all of you here. Now, right now, we have a very interesting presentation by a Peranakan community that is lesser known but just as important besides the better known Peranakan communities, including Singapore, Malacca and Penang. We are now going to the eastern side of Peninsular Malaysia, to the state of Terengganu, to meet the members of Peranakan Cina Terengganu. We have the president of Peranakan Cina Terengganu, Dr. Wee Tiong Wah, the vice president of Peranakan Cina Terengganu, Yap Chuan Bin, Professor Lua Pei Lin, and also Alex Lee, who are both committee members of the association. So it's my pleasure to welcome them to the show. A very good afternoon, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you.
Hi.
Especially nice to see
Good
Alex
to be here.
who sing it also. Alex, turn yourself around, Alex. It's okay. It's so nice to see everybody. Welcome to Virtually Peranakan Fest. Maybe as a start, maybe one of you can tell us a little bit more about the association there in Terengganu.
Okay. Alvin, I'll start off the thing by saying that we are actually 6 years old now, and we started it back in 2016. So we have managed to garner in about 100 members for the time being. So, and we are keeping the association alive. The activities, we were stopped for 3 years due to the COVID thing, but then we are starting to get back again, and we started to revive our activities back again. And as you know, we have just had ongoing exhibition on Peranakan lifestyle in Terengganu Museum. If you are here, drop by.
Fantastic. That's such a good introduction. And we'd also like to say hello to Dr. Wee Tiong Wah. Dr. Wee, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm okay, but I'm a president, but then most of the work is done by the committee, especially Mr. Yap. He is a driving force behind the association. And just because I'm an old man, they put me as a president, but I'm very actively involved in it. My nature is I'm a combination of Peranakan Terengganu as well as Peranakan Singapore, because my grandmother is a Donya from Singapore. My wife is also a Peranakan Singapore.
Right. Thank you very much for that sharing. And we also like to say hello to the committee members. We're going to start with Professor Lua Pei Lin. Hello, Professor Lua. How are you this afternoon?
Oh, hi. Good evening. Can you see my screen, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm from Terengganu, and actually my parents and great-grandparents landed in Kuala Nerus many years ago. I'm the 5th generation here, and I've just joined the Peranakan Cina Terengganu around last year, yeah. And my main job is really to help them to do a lot of Malay translation in either their booklets or speeches that if they need it. Yeah, I'm very much of a background person.
Right. Thank you. And we also have Alex. I love Alex because he's like sitting on the other side of the screen. But hello, Alex. How are you doing?
Alex is sleeping.
We'll get
He's
back to
our advisor.
He's an advisor. Okay, fantastic.
He's an advisor, and he does give us good advice. I don't know whether he's sleeping or what.
No, he's awake. He's tilted. His screen is tilted.
So anyway, just because there's I mean, what is very interesting, at least for me in Terengganu, it's not much known about the Peranakans in Terengganu. Of course, it's more popular or well known in Singapore, Malacca and Penang. Everybody knows there are Peranakan communities there and associations there, but very little is known about the Peranakans in Terengganu. So I'm hoping that this afternoon you can share with us something about where the Peranakans in Terengganu came from, what they all do, and some of the language even, or some of your pastimes that I know you have a very interesting language that you all share, and maybe we can talk a little bit as we go along the way. And I believe we have some photos to show, so maybe we can talk a little bit about this interesting home.
This is one of the rural homes, the riverine settlement along the Terengganu River. This is situated in a place called Tirok, and we still got Chinese Peranakan people living in these houses. These wooden houses are actually typically Malay houses and are made out of timber on raised stilts. And we have still got people living in these type of houses. The older generation are still living there.
So these are existing homes that's along the river and people are still living there. And the Peranakans live in such houses as well.
Yes.
Oh, that's very interesting. Okay, so when did the Peranakans in Terengganu came about? Do you know, as an estimate, how long ago?
Well, this basically we arrived. We must have arrived here in the 16th century, 16th to 17th century, because I'm now the 7th generation, and then I've got 2 more generations down, and we trace our records back through gravestones and all that. So we know we arrived somewhere in the mid 16th century.
Wow.
As from Fujian. Most of us are from Fujian.
Yes.
Fujian province, different prefecture they call it, I think, right?
So you're all Hokkiens.
We are Hokkien. We are basically Hokkien.
Right.
Mainly for Tong Hua and Nam Hua.
Okay.
So you can actually trace back your roots from all the communities in Terengganu.
Yes, I think we you see, we are somehow interrelated. You see, when you see, unlike Malacca or Singapore or Penang, they came as singles, but whereas we came as a family.
Oh,
We arrived here as family, marry within our community, our relatives.
oh, that's very interesting. That's very different.
And the
Yeah.
whole town is interrelated somewhere, somehow.
Not all.
Not all.
Not all.
I'm actually, my great-grandfather actually came from Malacca.
Right. Okay. Not
I
everybody
was from
came.
Malacca, my grandmother from Singapore, and my wife is Singapore, but is a Nyonya from Indonesia.
Right. It's good to have a different mix,
So
or
it's
else
all
we have a,
mixture.
or else
all
we have a
mixture.
genetic problem if. Yeah. Okay.
But
so
Yap is more local.
Yap is more
Everywhere he turned is a cousin or auntie.
And this is a very interesting building that you shared with us. What would this be?
This used to be I think a pork shop. At the side of it, it's got some ice kacang stalls, right? So you will notice that we are minimal. We are actually not a bustling big business city but we are minimal. Since that we have a small community, and we survive by trading. And those days, well, we have pepper. Areca nuts trading, and then tobacco.
Right. So this building would be in the town?
It's right in town.
Okay.
It's right in town. There's the side of the building. a side of the building, and attached to the building are little shed store that sells maybe chicken rice and fried kway teow and
Wow.
knickknacks, ice cream store, ice kacang store, things like that.
Now, this next photo is very interesting. It's a very happy lady. Is this a recent photograph?
Yes, I would say so. It's a recent photograph of this lady, Peranakan lady who migrated from Kelantan to live here and has spent most of her time here. And all her children have grown up here. She lives in a kampong house like
Right.
this.
Right. So this is how most of them lived, even in recent times.
Those who live in the villages, outskirts of town, still live in these type of houses.
Right.
Right, and then their children have moved to Terengganu town and live in modern houses. But the older folks, they still like to remain in their old house.
Yeah, the good old days.
If you look at a house, it is no different from a Malay house.
Yes.
But only different is sometimes you can see the Chinese character written on the side of the door with red paper paste on it, or a Chinese lantern. Then
For
you know
festive
that it is
occasions.
Chinese house. Otherwise, could be a Malay house.
Right. So the Malay culture and the Peranakan Cina in Terengganu are very much assimilated. Would that be the right thing to say?
Yeah, we're very close to them because even our food, we eat our food with hand. We don't use spoon as a chopstick. We use hand, and then we eat all their food, the belacan, budu, and the sayo. Our food is almost like a Malay food.
Right. What are some of the interesting dishes that you have in Terengganu that is very unique to Terengganu, the food in Terengganu?
That one you must ask. Yeah, he's a master of chef of food.
Alvin, you should come down here, spend a week, and then we will let you taste all the local food
Right.
that is uniquely in Terengganu, right? Only found in Terengganu and savored by our community, our Peranakan community.
So can you name some of these dishes that?
Well, we have laksam, which is
Laksam.
very similar to laksa. Also, fish and coconut sauce with I would say chichong fan,
Right.
something similar to that. But we put belacan and we put vegetables in them. Okay, that is one of the local dishes that's uniquely here.
Right.
On top of that, where we have nasi dagang, which is actually cooked by the Malays, but it's also savored by the Chinese as well. So that is actually local.
Sounds great. Yeah, so okay, besides that, we were also talking about these kinds of shop houses, and I believe this is in the town area.
Yeah. It's a shop house in town area. Some are bricks and some you'll notice are wood.
Right. So is this still commonly seen in the Terengganu town these days?
It is getting less and less. Now more of the houses are bricks and modern house. The wooden house are much less and less.
Right.
It's slowly been replaced with brick building.
Right. So are all these buildings like similar to buildings that's perhaps found in Malacca?
Not all. Some of the buildings are a bit like Malacca. One of the building is they got their floor tiles is like in Malacca. The walls are like Malacca, but it's not as ethnic as in Malacca.
Right. It's simpler.
simpler house.
Right.
My own grandfather's house is like that. It's simpler.
Right. But it's very quaint. It looks like a nice, comfortable place to live.
Yeah. If you take photograph of my shop house from the front, it looks like a authentic Chinese house from China.
Okay, that's very nice. Okay, I wanted to share this other photo that you gave me, and this is of a clock tower. Is this a very special building in Terengganu town?
It used to be a very special clock tower, and that clock tower is very near to Mr. Yap's grandfather's house. It's just about 40 yards from the south.
So you would have a lot of memories there.
Yeah, this picture was taken in the 60s, 70s. The clock tower is no longer there, but the building has also been changed. The whole facelift has been given to this row of shop houses, so you can't recognize it now. I wanted to show the simple lifestyle we had those days, where cars are minimum, trishaws are maximum, and then the roads are much wider now. And with two rows of modern building, they even demolished the central market, the one on the right hand side of the building. That was a central market. They upgraded it.
Right. So I understand all these are gone, but there will be something else that is being replaced. Is there a new tower?
The clock tower, yes, we will be replaced. Like what Yap said, the new market, the very big new market. And in one central area, there is a new clock tower. It's not visible from the road now because it's all under construction. If you go near the construction fence, you can see the clock tower, a much bigger and better one.
Okay, so that's something to look forward to in 2023. I understand it's going to be ready next year.
That's right. It's scheduled to finish next year.
Okay, before we go on to the next photographs, which is very beautiful about some of your ancestors of Terengganu, maybe somebody can share about the interesting language that you have in Terengganu, because I heard you're speaking certain words and I couldn't understand a single word that you said. So can you share some words?
The Terengganu Hokkien which we speak is different from the Hokkien you speak in Singapore.
Right.
Because we use a lot of Malay word and a lot of slang. The nearest Hokkien to our Hokkien is the Penang Hokkien.
Okay. So can you give us some examples of the words that you say, like hello or greeting?
In our fatwa, I think we say "Guanagamok." That means how are you?
How are you?
That is partially Malay.
We use things like batu, stone. We use instead of jiotao, we use batu.
Right. Okay. So it's a very unique language in itself that you all speak in Terengganu, because that's interesting, because that's uniquely Terengganu, and that's something to be celebrated. So coming to this photograph of Peranakan family ladies wearing sarong kebaya, very beautiful photo, I must say. Can you share a little bit of history about this photo?
This photo was given to me by my friend Mr. Tan, who's no longer with us, passed away from cancer 3-4 years ago. This is his grandmother's photograph with their relatives. Okay, I asked him for this photograph because it was beautifully actually taken. So the ladies are all dressed nicely, and this is what we dress like. So which is very similar to Malacca or Singapore. So we still wear sarong. The older ladies wear baju panjang. and then the younger ones would wear kebaya.
That's beautiful. And that's
This
another
photograph
photo-
was probably taken somewhere in 1930, 35, like that.
right, pre-war
Yes.
photograph.
Pre-war photograph. Around my mother and my grandmother's time.
Time, yes. Beautiful. And this other photograph of a few generations.
3 generation. That's my family photograph actually. My
Oh.
grandfather, my mother. I'm the second on the right,
You're
the one who gives the best smile. That's me, but must be about 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah, a young boy. Fantastic. This is a wonderful photograph.
Yeah,
And was this the time when your family stayed near the clock tower?
that's right.
Okay, fantastic. So
Uh,
from that, I mean, that's a beautiful photo that you shared. But maybe you can share about the pastimes of the Cina Terengganu, Peranakan Cina and Terengganu. You shared with me a very interesting photo of a few of your kakis and your kawans. They're all looking at a bowl, which maybe you can share what is this that they're doing?
this is it's like a snakes and ladder game. It's painted pictures on a piece of cloth, size of a mahjong table. Everybody throws the dice into the bowl to get the number that they want, and the steps they should move forward. The colored tokens, the round colored tokens are actually are the owner's tokens. I mean, you own red color, pink color, black color, right? It's like a snake and ladders. It's, so it goes around, and then each time they toss the thing, they will call for a number that they want, and they recite a poem in Hokkien. I can't remember any of those, but yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
They recite and challenge each
I
other.
remember a few of them. I used to play this. A few of them is all in Hokkien, whereby if you are throwing the dice, you want 4. You say 4, and then opposition will say 8 to prevent you getting it. And you can see from the figures, they're all the Chinese deity and Chinese gods and all that.
Yeah, this is so interesting. It means the whole table that they're playing on, it's painted with Chinese deities, and you're supposed to play around the deities. Is that right?
Yeah, you go around now.
Wow, I've never heard. And what is the name of this game?
Holobun. I used to have this piece before, but mine is lost. I don't know where it is.
Oh, you got to find it.
I think this one belongs to our patron. I think.
All right. But it's a very interesting game, and it's something that's unique because we've never seen at
It's
least.
very unique. Very
Yes,
unique.
it's very unique. Yes, so it should be something that we can try to keep going, because it's a very special game that you all play. Okay, and there's another game that you shared with me.
Oh, Chiki.
This is would be Sise. Yep.
Yes, that's right. I noticed the only card game that we are playing, whereas in Malacca and Singapore, I noticed you are playing Turkey, but we are
Yes.
playing Sisek, the four color cards game.
Yes. Sise is also played here in Singapore at least. I believe in Malacca as well. But I think Turkey is more popular game. I think there's a lot of similarities to both of the games. So there's some connection between all our different communities. I think basically it's a Chinese game. So they brought it down here. So everybody basically plays similar things. Okay, moving on, I'd like to bring in Professor Loa Pelin because she shared some lovely photographs of her family. Maybe she can share a little bit. Professor Loa, this is a very interesting
Hi, yeah,
photograph.
thank you.
Yeah, of a kampong.
Yeah, this was snapped very much in the late 40s, yeah, when my father was still a young boy. That's my father's photo. And I would just like to attract some attention towards the background of this photo, whereby the type of Malay houses that our family actually stay, which is next to the river in Sungai Nerus. And as you can see, my grandfather was a very avid bird charmer, so he likes to have a lot of bird cages in the house. As you can see those two hanging nearby. And also, there's my great-grandmother standing at the doorstep, whereby she is actually just clad in sarong up above the breast, you see. So that's how our type of family are used to, the attire that they're used to at home.
And what do you call this kind of attire
Sorry?
ladies wear? What do you call this kind of attire that they wear? And I believe we have a photo to share.
Berkemban, yeah, it's called berkemban, kain sarung kemban. Just a similar, this is the person who was at the doorstep just now, my great-grandmother. Yeah.
So was
and
it a very
when
common
she
thing?
goes outside, I mean, not outside the perimeter of the house, she will be wearing like that.
This is basically the homeware of the ladies within the home, right? Within the areas of the home.
Yes, this is inside the home, yeah. Within the perimeter, and the fences are made of bamboo sticks, lah, as you can see.
Right.
And they also usually hang their clothes outside.
Yes.
And in those days, I think many people do that. And it's a very much kampong lifestyle. That's what I was trying to illustrate.
Yeah, so I was wondering, I mean, did any of you live in those kinds of homes personally? Did you live in those kampong homes?
Not me, definitely, but my father did.
I suppose it was it was there's very little utilities, very basic living in a kampong home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very interesting in itself.
Yes.
So this would be your
This was my grandmother, and she's always clad in this Peranakan attire, lah, as you can call it, baju kebaya potong coat, I think, something like that. This is what we know of this attire. But as you can see, in those days, this is, I think, in the 1930s. She told me once before that she even had her hair done. So probably it's not so backward back then, because they may have people in the home becoming hairdresser. That's why she can perm her hair. But otherwise, she's always with her, baju kebaya, and wearing a lot of I can't remember what it's called, something like pending also. She has it, like the belt around her waist, but it's not in this photo.
Right. That's such a precious photo.
It's a gold belt. It's a gold belt. Like the Malaysian Agong wear.
It's a pending
mask. And
pending.
Gold or silver.
Nice. And
most families who
metal.
are well off will have one.
Okay. Yeah. Professor Law, what's this photo about?
This photo is taken in Kuala Terengganu town in those days. This was also in late 40s, and it just illustrates a family outing in town when they actually went to town to have a pastime. And it's actually, if you can see the hut behind, actually it's not a hut, it's a Rex Cinema place, as it is in my virtual background now.
Okay.
In those days, you can see that the town is not very developed.
Yes.
And people are not very well off, but a family outing is really something they treasure, and they will look forward to go to town. And I guess they sat on the trishaw a lot. As you can see in the background, there's a trishaw moving by as well.
Yes, it's very nice. Moving on, we have a photograph of a wedding, and I see that they are all in Western wedding bridal outfits.
Yes, this is a photo of my not my great grandparents, but my grandparents. They are I'm the 5th generation, so they are the 3rd. But you can see that there is no proper studio to take photo, although the attire is not bad. I was made to understand that this was actually borrowed or rented lah, because our family was not very well off also. And as you can see, the background taken is just by the side of their house. You can see the staircase up leading to the house, and there's a coconut tree at the back. There are a few kampong boys and girls at the back, in the background that's looking on. So this is very much kampong life in those days, peaceful and nice, and within the Malay community.
So if you say that these are your grandparents, would you say that this is probably taken in the 1920s?
I think it's 1930s or late 30s lah, because my grandpa was born in 1919. So when he got married, he was 20 plus lah, I think. He was in his 20s. And my grandma was 19 years old when she got married.
Yeah, so the implication is that the Western influence was very obvious, even in the 1930s on the Peranakan communities back then. That's very interesting. And this
Can I add in? Can I add in? At that time, in 1930, 35, 36, 30, the Terengganu couple, when they get married, they dress like that, with a modern wedding gown and the groom wearing coat. I have photograph of my father's weddings like that.
Right, so it's very common in those days.
Very common. But of course, we stay in town. Ours is taken in the studio.
Right. Okay, so you had the opportunity back then to take photographs in the studio.
Yeah.
Very nice. And from weddings, we go to funerals. I mean, can you share a bit about this photograph?
Yeah, I think this is the final photo of my set, just to illustrate that there's already a ready-made graveyard at back, if you can see, because somehow this is the funeral of my great-grandmother, actually, and it's in Batunam, in nearby the river where the first settlement was shown just now. And just to show that we are very much Chinese who are practicing Buddhism, Taoism in those days, and in fact until today too, unless they converted to another religion. So wearing straws and white gowns and tunic tops, these are common attire that people used to wear during funerals, as you can see. And also the bamboo-made lanterns right in front just show symbols of I think bringing the spirits or the dead ways to be shown to their graves, I think, something like that. I'm not so sure, but then that's how I was made to understand. Yeah, and those days people bury together, husband and wife. Yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you very much for that very personal sharing, Professor Loa. Of course, as an association, you try to keep the culture alive, and also there's a lot of efforts to engage the youth, especially to get them to embrace the culture, and some lovely photographs of little girls dressed in baju kebaya. They look absolutely beautiful, and also some youth also in Peranakan attire. Is there any significance to this particular photograph, Dr. Wee?
This photograph that you see that the Chinese girl in kebaya and a dark-looking girl in kebaya. The dark-looking girl is actually a Malay, but staying with a Chinese family.
Right. Very interesting.
And the four little girls you see walking around earlier, these are taken in my driveway actually, and we were taking photographs. Mr. Yap at that time was taking having a studio shot in my house on the Chinese New Year. From beginning of cleaning the house to prayers and dinners and giving ang paos and all that. And it was this exposure was shown in the Chinese New Year program in Astro. I think about 3 or 4 years. It's all credit to Mr. Yap.
Well done.
And he has a way with girls, even young girls.
And what is particularly interesting is recently you had an exhibition in Terengganu, which I thought was absolutely beautiful. Maybe we'll take Alex in. Alex, can you
Hi,
share a
hi.
little bit about the exhibition that's ongoing right now?
Yeah, hi, Edwin. Okay, we have an exhibition started from 1st November to 31st of December, which is for 2 months at Kuala Terengganu, which is Terengganu State Museum. We collaborate together with the Art Fast. So this exhibition talking about our Terengganu Chinese Peranakan lifestyle. So we started from the architecture, where the architecture, if you see our main city, town is Kampung Cina, Chinatown or Ting Lam Po, which is we can we have architecture of Southern Chinese architecture, and then some mixed eclectic architecture and some wooden short log, and also we have architecture of the vernacular architecture, which is Terengganu Peranakan live in old vernacular architecture where we call rumah panjang or rumah bujang, also rumah potong Belanda. So the architecture also we have that show, and also we have a story about how the door where you have every Peranakan house in the village where you have door and you have tuilian both side, and on the top of door normally you have mui bak. Mui bak is in Hokkien, or we translate into mata pintu in Malay. So mui bak is the one that to bring the spirit out, to have with the mui bak is a spirit of the house, which is the house must be have a spirit of roh, rumah tersebut in Malay. So that type of architecture we try to showcase that 2 months. Yeah, of course. Beside that, we do have places where altar prayer, and our altar in Terengganu a bit simple compared with our brothers in Malacca, Singapore, or Penang. So we the design normally altar, even the house design also, we are more into minimalist. So we try to showcase that as well, and also our Peranakan attire where you have kebaya potong kok. Potong kok, in Terengganu you call it as potong kok because our kebaya normally, the sulaman is very basic, very simple. Again, the design is very minimalist. But they call it potong kok because they potong like the coat, the European coat or jacket. So that's how they call it as a kebaya potong kok in Terengganu. So this exhibition also, we also show about the food of Peranakan. We have let's say like K pacok or ayam pacak, which is a very special delicacy of Terengganu Peranakan. So, and there we will show also pulut semangat, where every Chinese Peranakan normally we do have pulut. Yeah, the center one, the yellow one is pulut semangat. So normally even the baby full moon, after 40 days full moon, so the Peranakans will cook pulut semangat. If the boys, the baby boys, they will give to the friend, relative, or pulut with normally kerutuk ayam or telur. If the baby is baby girls, they will give same pulut kuning with kelapa, inti kelapa, the manis, sweet. So symbolic of the baby girl. So, and also Peranakan community use this pulut semangat sometimes to have, if you have a wish, and then if your wish come true, in Malay we call niat. So if you niat something and then your wish come true, so they would do pulut semangat. It's like Malay. And of course, Terengganu Peranakan you eat with hands. Budu is a must for Terengganu Peranakan. And we have another type of sauce we call kecap. Kecap, which is they cook from budu. It's a sweet sauce. So kecap is one of the main ingredients for Terengganu delicacy. When you cook a lot of food, normally delicacy, you use kecap. So there we have all the story about the food, about attire, about the architecture, and also about our celebration, our festival, and our lifestyle of Peranakan.
So it will
Sounds
be
wonderful.
2 months.
Yes, it will
When's
be
the
2 months.
last day?
the last day will be 31st December, end of this
Okay.
year.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a limited time. It's only up to the end of the year. So you won't be around next year. So that's unfortunate. Perhaps there could be possibilities of having something more permanent to keep the culture going and for more people to find out more about the culture. But thank you very much. That's very nice sharing, Alex, of the wonderful exhibition that is ongoing in Terengganu. Well, everybody, we have run out of time because we've got the next program to get ready for, but I'm really thankful that all of you have come on board. So thank you very much, Dr. Wee, Baba Yap, and of course Professor Loa and Alex. Thank you very much for coming on to this virtually Peranakan Fest. I hope more people will make the effort to find out more about the Peranakan Cina in Terengganu. Thank you very much, all of you, for being part of the show. I hope you enjoyed that session with Peranakan Cina Terengganu. If you find the time to visit that part of Malaysia, do discover more about the Peranakans over there. Do also visit and like their Facebook page at Peranakan Cina Terengganu. Do join us for the next session, starting at 4 p.m. It will be a personal sharing by history buff and proponent of Malacca's historic preservation, Josephine Chua from Malacca, as she shares her Peranakan roots. This has been Virtually Peranakan Fest 2022, organized and presented by Peranakan Sayang. My name is Alvin Un. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you later. Kamsia!